I was at a presentation one day, and one of the presenters, a spoken word artist, the first thing she did when she was introduced on stage was, "I'm a virgin." Everybody in the audience were like, "I don't understand." So, like, some people in the audience were like, "Hey, so why are you telling us if you're a virgin?" Then the other people were like, "Wow, this beautiful girl is a virgin." Then the other people in the other side were like, "Are you kidding me? Let's even know how she is." So, you know why she did that? She wanted to get the attention of everybody. Guess what? We were all interested to find out why she told us that, or why she's still a virgin, or why at that age, and all of those things. Guess what? At the end of the day, after the whole spoken word presentation, ended up telling us that she was a virgin to some issues of life, not what we were expecting. Hello, public speaking lovers. Today we'll be talking about something very important for those of you who are having difficulties in where do I start from in public speaking. So today we'll be talking about the 3 P's of a successful speech. So when we talk about the 3 P's of a successful speech, we're talking about the fact that speech is beyond just mere words, just talking to people and all of that. It's not just about picking up a topic and all of that. It's beyond that. There are things that are expected of you that if you have that, or if those things are present in your speech is likely going to be successful. So speeches is beyond just, it's not just about a topic. It's beyond even the oratory skills of the speaker, because there are factors that influences your speech. So one of those factors, we talk about the depth of content you're putting out there. What are those things that is expected of you if you want a speech to be successful? We call it what? The 3 P's of a successful speech: preparation, practice, performance. So today we're going to be taking them one after the other. So preparation. The first book I read in public speaking as a child growing up was a book written by a man named Dale Carnegie. And Dale Carnegie said that it's only a prepared speaker that deserves to be confident. So why would he say that? Truly, if you're not prepared, you can't be confident. So whenever you see people go out there to speak, chances are that they are prepared. Chances are that you might want to ask yourself, what of people who want to do? What of impromptu speeches? It's because they are prepared most of the time. Anybody you see in public speaking has, in one way or the other, had one sort of preparation or the other. So why is it important to even be prepared in public speaking? Why is it important to even be prepared before you go to speak to that audience? It's because, one, you don't want your audience to feel that this person doesn't have depth. You don't want your audience to feel that I know better than this person. You don't want your audience to feel that you're not even ready. So why are you here? What are you here to talk to us about? So that is why you must make sure that you prepare. So in preparation, someone will be asking themselves, okay, how do I prepare? So I'm going to give us a formula, and that's what we call the SMART speech preparation. What did I say? SMART speech preparation. That's SMART. SMART. SMART speech preparation, just like you say, SMART goal setting. So let's start with the letter S. The letter S stands for select your material. When we talk about selecting your material, you need to start with, first, what do you know about this topic? Let's take, for example, you want to talk about COVID-19. The question you should ask yourself is, what do I know about COVID-19? So you say, okay, COVID-19 started in a place named Wuhan, China. Okay, it happened, started 2019. It kept the world indoors for like a few months for the rest of 2020 and all of that. That's what you know about COVID-19 for the first time. That if you want to speak to people about COVID-19. So by starting with that, you now know, okay, if I have, this is what I know about COVID-19. So what else do I need? You now go and do what? Start looking for material, start making research, start looking out for what are the things that I need, because every speaker must leave your audience with an aha moment. So when we say aha moment, we're saying that moment of realization. Your audience must learn something. There has to be something they picked from you. You understand? So that is why you must make sure you extend your research in such a way that you get almost everything you need. But before you do that, you need to first of all start with what you know already. So when you start with what you know already, you now say, okay, you now build your speech from, you now select like 3 to 4 points or 2 to 3 points and build your research around it. And at the end of the day, not just building your research around it, you yourself also should have to learn something at the end of the day, because any research that you do without learning anything new, it shows that you probably didn't do enough research. So one of the things you must do in order to help you in the selection of your materials is to be able to also learn something new. So besides starting from what you know, you also should also learn something new. And also besides learning something new and starting from what you know, you need to be able to do a robust research that should be able to inform your audience. That is one. That is what we'll talk about, or select your material. The next one is M, map out an outline. Every public speaking engagement has an outline. So there's usually like an outline that is more of, what's the word, that is standard. So the outline, we'll talk about an outline that is standard. We're talking about it, like starting with the speech, we start with first an attention grabber. An attention grabber, that thing that will be able to get the attention of your audience. When I talk about attention grabber, we're saying that your audience should be willing to listen to you within the first few seconds of your speech because of the way your opener, the way you started your presentation. So it should be something that will get your audience ready to listen to you. So that is what we'll talk about, attention grabber, something that can get the attention of your audience. So we'll talk about getting the attention of, like for example, I was at a presentation one day and one of the presenters who was like a spoken word artist. The first thing she did when she was introduced on stage that's the first thing she said was, "I'm a virgin." Everybody in the audience were like, "I don't understand." So like some people in the audience were like, "Hey, so why are you telling us if you're a virgin?" Then the other people were like, "Wow, this beautiful girl is a virgin." Then the other people in the other side were like, "Are you kidding me? Let's even know how she is." So you know why she did that? She wanted to get the attention of everybody. Guess what? We're all interested to find out why she told us that, or why she's still a virgin, or why at that age, and all of those things. Guess what? At the end of the day, after the whole spoken word presentation, ended up telling us that she was a virgin to some issues of life. Not what we were expecting. But the point is that she has gotten the attention of everybody in the audience. Also, have you ever seen a speaker walk up on stage and then the speaker keeps quiet, looking at everybody, not saying anything, not uttering a word? How unnerving it is, how commanding it is. Even if you're making noise in that kind of auditorium, you want to keep quiet because you don't know what the speaker is going to say. Maybe the next thing the speaker is going to say is to call your attention, to maybe embarrass you. So nobody wants to be embarrassed. That is why when the speaker comes on stage and keeps quiet and is looking at everybody keeps quiet to find out what is he going to say. Another attention grabber is also like a rhetorical question. So it has to be something. It could be a statistics. It could be a quote. Let that be something that your presentation starts with, like a punchline, something that can get the attention of your audience. That is what we'll talk about when we say map out an outline. So when you're talking about map out an outline, you're starting with the conventional outline is first an attention grabber. After an attention grabber, you get introduction. After introduction, the body, conclusion, and a call to action. That's a standard outline. So the first in the outline is what? What did I say? The first in the outline is an attention grabber. The second one is introduction. The third is the body. That's the whole essence of the presentation. We contribute about 70% of the presentation. And then the conclusion. And lastly, the call to action. Why is it important to do a call to action? Every presentation you make must have a call to action because you must tell your audience what to do. So for example, if you're campaigning for a candidate in an election, the expectation is that at the end of the day, you want them to vote for your candidate. So the last thing you should say, or the last thing you should do before you leave that stage, is to tell them to do what? To do this. Just like I'm going to be doing in this episode, where I get to the point where I tell you, okay, for you to do was subscribe, like, comment, share this video, so that by next episode, you'll be able to join and come back and see what we're doing. That's what we're talking about, a call to action. Every speaking engagement must end with what? A call to action. That's the ideal outline. So when you're preparing your speech, like I said, you need to start with first selecting your materials, and selecting your materials involve research and all of those many things. The second one is mapping out an outline. The outline now gives the presentation a framework. It's like the skeletal framework of the presentation, starting with an attention grabber. Yes. Starting with an attention grabber. That's the first one. And then the second one is introduction, like I mentioned. The third, the body, the conclusion, and the call to action. That's mapping out at the letter M. Map out an outline. The next letter in the smart speech preparation is A. And A stands for what? Add humor and personality. Add humor and personality. One of the things you must do in public speaking is to be able to make your audience laugh. You should be able to enjoy your presentation. Add personality to it. Don't be stiff. Be flexible. Try as much as possible to maybe put up a smile. Make your audience, let them get that okay, there's a human being, not like you just like one stick standing and then you're talking to them like the military zone and all of that. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're saying you should be able to do what? Add personality. Add humor and personality. So when you're adding humor, you need to also be careful. Why am I saying you should be careful in adding humor? Please. I said add humor, you make people laugh, but please, I'm begging you with everything you know. If you know you are not funny, don't attempt it.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? For every subscription, we would be giving the sum of 50 naira to orphanage homes.
Like for me personally, I don't attempt. I used to anchor a lot of programs and all of that, like Compare and the rest. And one of the things I don't do is to crack jokes and the rest of it, because I know I'm not funny. I like to share a very funny story with you, or a personal story. Growing up, I was a member of one theater club, and we are into acting and all of those things and all that. And one day we were carrying out some sort of a drive to get new members into the theater group, and we shared responsibilities among members. So we say, okay, you're going to act this role, you're going to dance, you're going to do this. And one of the responsibilities that was assigned to me is to crack jokes. So the comedy aspect of the talent hunt, that was one of the responsibilities that was attached to me. So what did I do back in the day? So for those of you who live in Onitsha, you've heard, post office. So I went to, you can get anything in post office. So I went to post office to buy this current affairs. There's this current affairs that we used to have growing up back in the days for the 90s kids and the rest of them, that have jokes and all that. After aside the current affairs, there are parts that has jokes and all that. So I bought one. I think I even bought two or so. So I went back home. I was studying them. All the ones that made me laugh, those were the ones I was trying to cram. I crammed all of the jokes and all that. And guess what? On the D-Day, when I came on stage, when I was invited to come and do my own comedy, I cracked the first joke, nobody laughed. I cracked the second joke, nobody laughed. I cracked the third joke, nobody laughed. So my friend was my saving grace that day. He just walked on stage and said one very funny thing, and everybody burst out laughing. I was ashamed of myself. And I swore to myself, I will never, ever attempt comedy in my life. No matter what, if you like, pay me all the money in the world, I will not crack a joke. If I come, I will just do very serious, do the format thing, do this and go. That is why I'm sharing this story, is that please, if you are not funny, don't attempt it. Please, if you are not funny. But if you're funny, why not? You can add one or two jokes and all of that, make your audience laugh. You understand? Because if you can make your audience laugh, they will be engaged in your content. You'll be engaged in your presentation. That is what they add humor and personality, which is the letter A in the smart speech preparation. So the next letter is what? R, which is what? Revise your speech. You've written it, you've added this thing, you put up a framework, you've already added all the things, then you revise it, take a look at it. A second look at it. You could ask a friend to take a look at it. But in looking at it, you should have something in mind. What should you have in mind in looking at it? You should be able to ask yourself, are there things I should remove? Are there things I should add? Now, why is it important you should do this? It's because when you make research, you'll be tempted to add almost everything you saw online. When you're making research, you'll be tempted to add almost everything. And the moment you have a lot of information and you're unable to explain them, it gets boring. And the audience don't want to get bored and all of that. So that is why you look at, what are the things I should remove? What are the things I should add? That's when you're revising the speech. You also ask yourself, okay, are there words that are more powerful than the other? So are there words that I feel that will have more impact on this audience than the other? So there are young people, there are words that have more impact on young people than it has on older people. So you need to be able to look out for all of those things in revising your speech. Get somebody to also help you proofread and all, so that you can look out for errors, spelling mistakes and all of that. That is for what? Revising your speech. That's for letter R. The next letter, which is T, which is the final letter in smart speech preparation, is what? tie loose ends. You revise your speech, you looked at it, you found out, okay, these are the things I need to remove, these are the things I need to put, and all of that. Then you now couple it, which is the last thing, the tying of loose ends, by coupling it. So to ascertain if you've tied the loose ends in the speech, or you've done everything, you've done your due diligence in tying loose ends, there's a table you can use. So the table should be, the first one should be, this speech, does it have the main ideas? What are the main ideas that I want to achieve? What are the main ideas in the presentation? Then also, you now ask yourself also, this speech, does it have the supporting ideas? If it has, you say, okay, check. First, you said it has the main ideas, check. It has the supporting ideas, you do check. Then the next one, which is the third one, you now ask yourself, do I have examples, statistics, and all of the things to back up whatever it is I'm saying? If it has it, you now do check. The final one, you now ask, does it have visuals? Visuals. Those visuals, you say, okay, these are the things, because learning occurs not just by hearing, but also by seeing. So when people have multiple layers of learning or multiple places to learn from, which is from seeing, from hearing, and all of those things, it helps them to do what? To learn better. It helps them to understand your presentation better. That's what we'll talk about, what? Tying loose ends and ensuring that you indeed tie your loose end. Until we meet again, Tops Institute fans, please like, comment, share this video, and you remember that the next episode is coming up, which will be discussing practice, and afterwards we'll conclude with what? Performance. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.